A lot of people over 60 have quietly made peace with the idea that their eyesight is simply fading away, something to accept and move forward from. You wake up in the morning with eyes that feel dry and irritated. You squint across the room trying to read something that used to be effortless. Or you find yourself dreading nighttime driving because the headlights coming toward you leave you momentarily blinded, your hands gripping the wheel just a little tighter than they used to. But here is something I want you to sit with for a moment. That slow decline is not always just age doing what age does. And that difference matters far more than most people are ever told. The American Optometric Association is very clear on this. Once you move past 60, your eyes enter a period of significantly heightened vulnerability. Dry eye disease, cataracts, macular degeneration, even sudden blurring in a single eye. These are not rare occurrences anymore. They become increasingly probable with every year that goes by without deliberate, targeted support. And the National Eye Institute has raised a flag that deserves serious attention. Vision loss across the United States is climbing faster than at any other recorded moment in history. What makes this so particularly concerning is where the most critical damage tends to occur, not during daylight hours, at night. While you believe your body is quietly recovering, your retina, that delicate, light-sensitive layer lining the interior back wall of your eye, is not always receiving the oxygen and nourishment it depends on. The photoreceptor cells that make sharp, clear vision possible begin breaking down, slowly, silently. And by the time most people notice something is wrong, the deterioration has already been underway for quite some time. So the question I hear from patients almost every single week goes something like this: why is my vision getting worse? And is there anything I can genuinely do about it that doesn't mean committing to lifelong medication or accepting the risks that come with surgical procedures? Here is the honest answer. The majority of solutions being marketed right now, lubricating drops, progressively stronger lenses, even laser correction, address the surface. They manage what you can see and feel. They do not go after what is actually driving the damage at the cellular level. And that is precisely the gap that keeps the vision care industry generating enormous revenue year after year, while older adults keep struggling with the same unresolved problems. A study published in JAMA Ophthalmology in 2023 confirmed something researchers had been observing for years. Age-related retinal damage frequently begins with changes happening silently deep inside the eye. Oxidative stress, chronic low-grade inflammation, and these destructive processes are most active at night, during the exact window of time when your eyes are supposed to be doing their deepest, most restorative repair work. But this is where things shift, because more recent research has brought to light something genuinely worth paying attention to. Specific fruits that most of us encounter every single week contain natural compounds that your retinal tissue is actively seeking during sleep. These nutrients have been shown to support the regeneration of damaged photoreceptor cells, improve circulation to the retina, and may even slow the progression of macular degeneration, which remains the primary cause of central vision loss in adults over 60. Which means supporting clearer vision naturally, safely, and during sleep may be more within reach than you have ever been led to believe. Without another prescription, without another referral to a specialist, without booking another consultation you're not sure you can afford. And the fruit that sits at the very top of today's list, one that a large number of people already have somewhere in their kitchen right now, contains a naturally occurring enzyme that research shows can interfere with one of the most destructive processes behind cloudy lenses and the early stages of cataract development. My name is DR.Michonne. I have spent years working alongside older adults who are committed to protecting and preserving their vision through evidence-informed natural strategies used alongside conventional care. Today, I am going to walk you through 7 fruits that research suggests can actively support overnight eye repair, and exactly how to use each one to give your eyes the best possible advantage. Before we get into the list, I would love to know where you are watching from right now. Drop your city or your country in the comments below. We are building something real here, a global community of people who have decided to stop accepting vision loss as something inevitable written into their future. And before anything else, and I want to be genuinely clear about this because it matters, everything I share in this video is for educational purposes only. It is not a replacement for professional medical advice. If you are experiencing changes in your vision, increased blurriness, or any concerns at all about your eye health, please consult a licensed eye care professional before making any adjustments to your diet, supplement routine, or daily habits. Your eyes are not something to leave to chance. Now let's begin our countdown from number 7. Number 7. Kiwi Small. A little rough on the outside. Probably something you walk right past at the grocery store without giving it much thought. But for aging eyes, kiwi is genuinely impressive, and the science behind it holds up in ways that might surprise you. Here is why it matters. As the years accumulate, the retina, the tissue responsible for capturing incoming light and converting it into the images your brain can actually interpret, becomes increasingly exposed to damage. Oxidative stress builds steadily, cells begin to deteriorate, and you start noticing the effects in your daily life. Road signs require more effort to read. Headlights at night scatter and flare in ways they never used to. You wake up and spend the first hour simply waiting for your vision to fully settle and clear. That is not just the passage of time. That is measurable cellular damage, and there is meaningful, growing evidence that it can be genuinely addressed. Kiwi is packed with 2 compounds that eye researchers return to again and again: lutein and zeaxanthin. Think of them as an internal protective shield embedded within the layers of your retina, absorbing harmful blue light and delivering antioxidant defense during the nighttime hours when your eyes are engaged in their most critical repair processes. Kiwi also contains a distinctive combination of antioxidants alongside a small but meaningful amount of serotonin, which supports deeper and more restorative sleep cycles. And deep sleep is precisely when your eyes perform their most significant regenerative work. The relationship between sleep quality and overnight eye repair is far more connected than most people ever stop to consider. The research is worth taking seriously. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that older adults who consumed 2 golden kiwis daily experienced measurable improvements in visual sharpness, alongside meaningfully reduced morning eye dryness and redness. 2 pieces of fruit. Measurable, documented results. How to use it. Eat 2 golden kiwis, not the standard green variety, approximately 1 hour before bed. Golden kiwis carry a higher lutein concentration, generate considerably less acidity, and sit far more gently on the stomach during evening hours. And here is a detail most people miss entirely. Do not peel all the way through to the edge. The thin layer of flesh sitting just beneath the skin holds a concentrated form of caffeic acid, a potent antioxidant your eyes can genuinely use. Scoop the fruit with a spoon and leave that inner edge intact. Something as ordinary as a kiwi. Better night vision. Less morning dryness. No pill, no procedure. Number 6. Watermelon. One you probably already enjoy on a regular basis. And if you have ever found yourself wondering why your vision still feels foggy and unsettled a full hour after waking up, this one deserves your close attention. As we get older, the eyes lose moisture far more quickly than they once did. Circulation to the retina begins to slow and becomes less efficient, and that gradually reduced blood flow is one of the most significant drivers behind the frustrating morning blurriness that can linger for hours, if it clears at all. Watermelon is over 90% water, so hydration is an obvious and immediate benefit, but the research points to something considerably more targeted and specific. Watermelon ranks among the richest known dietary sources of lycopene, a powerful carotenoid antioxidant that observational studies have consistently linked to reduced oxidative damage in retinal cells and meaningful protective effects against age-related conditions, including cataracts and macular degeneration. Studies also show that people who eat watermelon regularly tend to maintain notably higher circulating levels of lutein and zeaxanthin, the same foundational vision nutrients we just discussed with kiwi. And certain compounds present in watermelon appear to support nitric oxide production and improved peripheral blood flow, which may translate directly into better oxygen and nutrient delivery to the retina during sleep, precisely during the hours when your eyes are working hardest to recover and rebuild. How to use it. 1 to 2 cups of chilled seedless watermelon about 30 minutes before bed. Skip the added salt entirely. Sodium can elevate intraocular pressure, which the Glaucoma Research Foundation identifies as a serious and potentially irreversible risk factor for long-term vision loss. Pro tip: do not discard the rind. That pale section running just beneath the outer skin contains citrulline, an amino acid that supports healthy vascular function and may meaningfully contribute to overnight nourishment of retinal tissue. Blend it into a smoothie or lightly pickle it if you enjoy a little kitchen creativity. Number 5. Black currants. This is one that most people have genuinely never thought to add to their grocery list. Tiny, deep purple, easy to walk past without a second glance. But when it comes to protecting your eyes specifically in low light and dim conditions, black currants are quietly one of the most remarkable options available. The specific problem black currants address is retinal microinflammation combined with restricted blood flow to the optic nerve. Over time, that persistent low-grade inflammation gradually softens your vision, creates halos around lights at night, and generates progressive eye strain in dim environments. These are problems that a stronger prescription lens simply cannot fix or resolve. What makes black currants so particularly effective is their extraordinary anthocyanin density. Anthocyanins are the deep pigments responsible for the fruit's distinctive dark color. Inside the eye, they work simultaneously on multiple levels. They reduce inflammation. They support the widening and dilation of blood vessels, and they help restore rhodopsin, the visual pigment your eyes depend on to transition smoothly and efficiently from bright environments into darkness. The clinical research here is genuinely compelling. A randomized, placebo-controlled trial conducted in glaucoma patients found that 50 milligrams of blackcurrant anthocyanins taken daily over 24 months significantly improved blood flow to the optic nerve head and surrounding retinal regions, and meaningfully slowed the rate of visual field deterioration compared to those receiving placebo. That is not a minor or incidental finding. A separate pilot study in patients with normal tension glaucoma found that blackcurrant anthocyanins increased retinal blood flow without affecting eye pressure and helped normalize endothelin, a compound directly involved in the constriction of blood vessels. This points to genuine neuroprotective potential even in individuals without a formally confirmed eye condition. There is also a growing body of evidence showing that blackcurrant anthocyanins improve dark adaptation, the speed at which your eyes are able to shift from bright to dim environments. For anyone who struggles with nighttime driving or moving between rooms with different lighting levels, this finding is directly and practically relevant. How to use them. Fresh blackcurrants are difficult to source in most standard grocery stores. Look instead for a standardized blackcurrant anthocyanin extract, around 50 milligrams daily, taken in the evening alongside your other fruits. For better absorption, pair it with a small amount of healthy fat. A few walnuts work well, or with a vitamin C source, such as a slice of fresh orange. Nutrient synergy is genuinely real, and it matters significantly here. Number 4. Blueberries. One you almost certainly already have sitting in your kitchen right now, but here is what consistently surprises people when they hear it. The way the vast majority of us actually eat blueberries is actively canceling out a significant portion of their eye protective potential, without anyone ever realizing it. What do blueberries specifically target? Oxidative damage to your photoreceptors, the specialized retinal cells responsible for sharp focus, fine detail resolution, and your eye's ability to adapt to changing levels of light. Years of accumulated UV exposure build up. Your body's natural antioxidant defenses gradually thin out, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, you find yourself squinting at printed text, struggling to see clearly in low-light situations, or asking yourself why your vision remains blurry even with corrective lenses fully in place. The key active compound in blueberries is pterostilbene, chemically related to resveratrol but meaningfully and significantly more bioavailable. Research indicates it can cross the blood-retinal barrier and act directly on DNA damage occurring within light-sensitive cells. That distinction is what separates it from the majority of dietary antioxidants that never actually manage to reach the tissue where the damage is actively happening. A 2023 study published in Nutritional Neuroscience found that older adults who consumed wild blueberries daily for 12 consecutive weeks demonstrated notable and measurable improvements in visual acuity and reported significantly less eye strain when working on screens in low-light environments over that same period. But here is the critical detail that changes everything. Not all blueberries deliver equal benefit. The large, shiny, cultivated varieties that fill most supermarket shelves carry measurably lower antioxidant density than their wild counterparts. Wild blueberries, the small, intensely dark ones typically found in the frozen section, contain nearly double the concentration of active protective compounds. And frozen performs every bit as effectively as fresh when it comes to delivering those benefits. How to use them correctly. About a third of a cup of wild blueberries 45 minutes before bed. And here is the pro tip that most people get completely wrong. Do not combine them with dairy. The proteins found in milk physically bind to anthocyanins and block their absorption within the gut. Instead, lightly freeze and then allow your blueberries to thaw before eating. That simple process breaks down the cell walls and dramatically increases bioavailability, meaning your eyes can actually access and use what they need during overnight repair. Number 3. Dragon fruit. This one surprises almost everyone the first time they hear it connected to eye health. Visually striking. Brilliant, vivid red on the inside. And research suggests it may be one of the most effective fruits currently available for increasing oxygen delivery to your eyes during the hours you spend sleeping. If you regularly wake up with heavy, fatigued eyes, even after what should have been a full and adequate night of rest, pay very close attention to what comes next. You have seen it in stores, vivid pink on the outside, dramatic and colorful when cut open. But the variety you choose matters enormously here. You want the deep, red-fleshed variety specifically. The white-fleshed versions simply do not contain the compounds we are focused on. The specific problem dragon fruit addresses is retinal hypoxia, a condition in which your retinal tissue is not receiving adequate levels of oxygen during sleep. When that happens, you can spend a full 8 hours in bed and still wake up with exhausted, heavy, unrefreshed eyes. Peripheral vision begins to blur at the edges. Colors appear duller and flatter than they once did. And over time, left unaddressed, the cumulative damage becomes increasingly significant and difficult to reverse. Red dragon fruit is rich in betalains, a distinctive class of antioxidants that research shows can support nitric oxide production within the walls of blood vessels. Nitric oxide is the molecule responsible for relaxing and widening capillaries, including the microscopic ones that supply blood directly to your retina. Wider capillaries mean more oxygen and more nutrients reaching retinal tissue during the deep sleep phases when repair is most active and most urgently needed. A 2022 study published in Frontiers in Aging Biology reported that participants who consumed red dragon fruit extract consistently over 6 weeks showed meaningful improvements in ocular circulation, contrast sensitivity, and overall visual field depth. In practical, everyday terms, they saw more clearly in low-light conditions and reported noticeable, tangible reductions in blurry vision. How to use it. Half a red-fleshed dragon fruit approximately 1 hour before bed. And here is the pro tip that almost everyone misses entirely. Do not swallow the black seeds whole. Chew them deliberately and thoroughly. Those seeds contain omega-3 fatty acids and magnesium, both of which play well-documented and significant roles in retinal nerve health and overnight tissue repair. Swallowed whole without chewing, you lose nearly all of that benefit. Number 2. Goji berries. Bright red, lightly sweet, used in traditional Chinese medicine for more than 2,000 years, specifically and intentionally for the support and preservation of eye health. And now the clinical evidence is beginning to align meaningfully with that long-standing tradition. Here is the precise problem goji berries are designed by nature to address: macular thinning. The macula is the central zone of your retina, the region entirely responsible for the sharp, high-resolution vision you rely on every day to read, recognize faces, and perceive color with clarity and depth. As we age, oxidative stress and steadily declining circulation gradually erode this critical tissue. That slow deterioration is the foundational biological process behind age-related macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of permanent, irreversible vision loss in older adults throughout the world. What makes goji berries truly exceptional is their zeaxanthin concentration. They rank among the very highest natural dietary sources of zeaxanthin on the planet. While lutein primarily works to protect the outer regions of the retina, zeaxanthin concentrates specifically and selectively within the macula itself, your absolute center of vision. That precise, targeted, localized protection is what sets goji berries apart from nearly every other dietary option available. The clinical evidence behind this is genuinely compelling. A 2021 study published in the journal Nutrients followed adults between the ages of 60 and 80 who consumed dried goji berries 5 days per week for a full 90 days. The results showed a significant measurable increase in macular pigment optical density, which is a direct and validated measurement of macular protection, and not a single participant in the study showed any further progression of macular degeneration throughout the entire trial period. For anyone genuinely concerned about preserving their visual independence as they age, that finding deserves very serious consideration. How to use them. Soak 2 tablespoons of dried goji berries in warm water for approximately 10 minutes, then consume them about 30 minutes before going to bed. Soaking softens them considerably and meaningfully improves their digestibility, which becomes increasingly important for older digestive systems. And here is a pro tip with genuine, peer-reviewed science standing behind it. Pair your goji berries with a small square of high-quality dark chocolate containing at least 85% cacao. The flavonoids present in cocoa have been shown in research to actively enhance the body's absorption of zeaxanthin. Together, they create a nutritional synergy that your macula can directly and immediately benefit from. Number 1. Papaya. Not exotic, not difficult to locate, not expensive in the slightest. You may very well have one sitting on your kitchen counter at this very moment. But when eaten correctly and at the right time of day, papaya targets one of the most destructive and most consistently overlooked biological processes behind blurry vision, cloudy lenses, and the early formation of cataracts. Here is the specific enemy that papaya goes after: glycation. That is the process by which excess blood glucose binds directly to proteins within your eye tissue, producing what scientists call advanced glycation end products, compounds that progressively cloud the lens and steadily degrade retinal function over time. Glycation is one of the most underappreciated and under-recognized contributors to age-related vision deterioration, and it is occurring silently and continuously in the majority of people over 60. Whether they know it or not. Papaya is rich in papain, a naturally occurring enzyme with well-documented anti-inflammatory and protein-modifying properties that make it uniquely suited to addressing this problem. It also delivers a powerful and complementary combination of vitamins A, C, and E alongside folate, nutrients that research consistently and repeatedly connects to tear film stability, retinal protection, and meaningfully reduced oxidative stress within the eye. A 2023 study published in Clinical Gerontology found that older adults who consumed papaya regularly in the evening hours demonstrated measurably lower glycation markers in their follow-up assessments, alongside stronger and more consistent tear production and clear improvements in contrast vision, all within just 6 weeks of starting. For anyone currently managing persistent dry eyes, frustrating morning blurriness, or early-stage cataract changes, those are outcomes that genuinely deserve to be taken seriously. How to use it. 1 cup of ripe papaya cubes approximately 1 hour before bed. 2 things are non-negotiable here. Fresh is meaningfully and significantly better than anything processed or packaged, and room temperature is always better than cold straight from the refrigerator. Remove your papaya from the fridge at least 30 to 60 minutes before you plan to eat it. Cold temperatures suppress enzyme activity, and you want papain operating at full strength when it reaches your digestive system. Do not pair papaya with dairy either, for exactly the same absorption-blocking reason we discussed earlier with blueberries. Pro tip: squeeze a generous amount of fresh lime juice directly over your papaya before eating. The vitamin C concentrated in lime juice meaningfully enhances your body's capacity to absorb vitamin A. Your eyes receive considerably more of what they need, and honestly, it makes the entire experience taste considerably better as well. Now, before we bring everything to a close, there are 5 rules I need you to hear and genuinely remember. Because without applying these consistently, you could eat every single fruit on this list every evening and still fail to capture the full benefit your eyes are biologically capable of receiving. Rule 1. Do not combine with high calcium foods. Eating papaya or blueberries shortly after consuming milk, yogurt, or calcium-fortified cereal actively and measurably interferes with your body's ability to absorb lutein and zeaxanthin. Published research has shown that high-calcium meals consumed alongside antioxidant-rich fruits can reduce absorption of key eye nutrients by as much as 30%. Allow at least 90 minutes between any dairy consumption and your evening fruit. Treat your fruit as a fully dedicated standalone snack, not an addition bolted onto a larger meal. Rule 2. Always include a small amount of healthy fat. The majority of the key protective nutrients found in these fruits are fat-soluble by nature. Without fat present in the same meal, your body simply cannot absorb them fully or effectively. A small handful of walnuts, a teaspoon of cold-pressed flaxseed oil, or a few slices of avocado eaten alongside your fruit can improve absorption by more than 50%, according to published nutritional research. Identical food, dramatically superior delivery to the tissue that needs it. Rule 3. Wash gently and carefully. This one genuinely surprises most people. Scrubbing aggressively under forceful running water strips away a meaningful and measurable portion of the surface antioxidants, particularly on blueberries and black currants, where the most biologically active compounds are concentrated in and immediately beneath the outer skin. Rinse gently under cool, calm water, pat completely dry, and always wash right before eating, never hours in advance. Rule 4. Room temperature over cold, always. Refrigeration actively suppresses enzyme activity in several of these fruits, most critically papain within papaya. Below a certain temperature threshold, these enzymes lose their functional effectiveness almost entirely. Remove your fruit from the refrigerator 30 to 60 minutes before you intend to eat it. Let it return to room temperature so your body can extract the maximum possible benefit from every bite. Rule 5. Timing is everything and cannot be overlooked. Eat your fruit 60 to 90 minutes before going to sleep. Too early in the evening and the nutrients are metabolized and fully cleared from your system before your eyes even enter their primary overnight repair window. Too late, and active digestion directly disrupts the deep sleep your eyes absolutely require to carry out that repair work effectively. Land consistently within that window, and you give these natural compounds their strongest and most realistic opportunity to do precisely what the research suggests they are capable of. Let's bring everything together one final time. Blurry vision is not simply an unavoidable and irreversible consequence of growing older. It is frequently and specifically the result of identifiable biological processes unfolding inside your eye tissue over years. Oxidative damage accumulating silently. Chronic low-grade inflammation degrading delicate structures. Compromised circulation reducing the nutrients your retina depends on. Glycation clouding the lens from the inside out. And a growing and increasingly credible body of scientific evidence suggests that certain fruits, consumed at the right time of day and prepared in the right way, can meaningfully support your eye's natural and innate capacity for overnight repair and genuine cellular regeneration. Close your eyes for a moment and picture what that could look like in your daily life. Reading a full page of text without needing to squint or reposition the page. Driving at night without that familiar, anxious, white-knuckled grip on the steering wheel. Waking up in the morning and actually seeing with clarity within the very first minutes of being awake. Looking at the faces of the people you love most and taking in every single detail without effort or strain. That is what this conversation is truly and fundamentally about. Not simply sharper vision measured on an eye chart, your independence, your confidence in everyday situations, the quality of your daily experience in ways that quietly ripple into everything you do and touch, every relationship you value. I want to hear directly from you right now. If your eyesight became noticeably and meaningfully clearer starting tomorrow morning, what is the very first thing you would want to look at? Your family gathered around a table? A sunrise breaking over the horizon? The garden just outside your window coming into full focus? Leave your answer in the comments section below. I read every single response that comes in, and I say that with complete sincerity. If today's video gave you something genuinely useful, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more evidence-informed approaches to protecting your vision and supporting your overall health as you move through this important stage of life. And please share this with someone over 60 who matters to you. You may make a more meaningful and lasting difference for them than you will ever fully realize. This is DR.Michonne. Take care of your eyes every single day. They are completely and entirely irreplaceable. And I will see you in the very next one.